We're back, and it's time now for our Legal Difference segment with Nebula Beard and Arsenault. Attorney Wes Gralapp is back with us, and we continue to chat about tort reform and car insurance rates. Sure to be a hot topic during the legislative session this spring. So, Wes, welcome back. I guess we'll start today with tell us what the collateral source rule is.
Sure, Mark, and thanks for having me.
Sure, no problem.
To kind of segue, one of the revisions that is being proposed is to do away with the collateral source rule.
Okay.
The collateral source rule is when, let's take for instance that you have health insurance, and your health insurance pays on an accident-related bill that you have, and right now you pay the premiums for that health insurance, and you get the benefit for it. What doing away with the collateral source rule would do is that the automobile insurance company would get the benefit that you would otherwise receive as a result of paying for premiums and getting health insurance. And fundamentally, that's just not fair. Because there are so many things that you don't get an advantage for when you're in an automobile accident. But when you work hard and put your premiums out there to buy your own health insurance, you should reap the benefit of that, and it should not go to another insurance company who had nothing to do with you prior to their insured running into you.
Yeah, moving on to insurance companies, how do they actually set rates, insurance companies?
Insurance companies, it's secret, I mean, there's a lot that
Not a lot of transparency, I'm sure.
There's a lot that goes into making the sausage, but a few of the things that, of course, your driving record, right? Yeah. They want to calculate your risk as a driver, and that's perfectly fine. They should be allowed to do that. Where the troublesome aspects of it comes in is that when they use things like credit ratings, because what it boils down to is when they're judging you as a driving risk and they use your credit rating, they're not basing your premiums on whether or not you're at risk to have an accident. They're basing your premiums on whether or not you're at risk to be able to pay your premium. And so if you're in a bad credit rating situation, you're more likely to either skip a payment or be late on a payment, and so that
considered a high risk.
So you're considered a high risk for paying your premium. It has nothing to do with your ability to drive,
right? Or
whether or not you've had any tickets or things of that nature. The other thing is marital status or gender. I guess you can take enough statistics and show that boys under the age of 25 are a higher risk than girls under the age of 25. But when both people are 45, male and female alike, then why should it matter? Your driving record should matter. You've been driving at that time for 30 years, Another thing is your marital status. A lot of us, unfortunately, are widowed, and you can actually be put into a single rate category because you're older and have a perfect driving record, but your spouse passed away.
Right.
Because now you're single. So we need transparency with how our rates are calculated and why we are perceived to be a risk. And with transparency, I think competition from other insurance companies comes in, and that's how we lower our rates. But clogging the judicial system with case after case after case, demanding a jury trial and lowering your...
say just a fender bender or something along those lines.
That's right. I mean, that's not going to lower our rates. It's going to lower our access to justice, and it's going to increase the insurance company's ability to limit your right to a recovery. All we want is transparency with insurance rates and how they are determined, and then let's counsel our people with high rates and tell them why their rates are high. This doesn't need to be yet another tax on the poor. Because the poor are the folks who can't afford the insurance as it is, and then they get tickets when they don't have it. It's mandatory in Louisiana to have it. And then they are always cashed out, and they are never able to catch up simply because their insurance rates are not fairly adjudicated walking in the door.
Gotcha. Wes, thanks for coming by. People need to follow it during the Louisiana legislative session this spring. For
Absolutely. Sure. Call your legislature, make your opinion known, but most of all, become educated about how your insurance rates are calculated.
There you go. All right, we've got more to come on this Thursday. And